Hello everyone, Joy here. Welcome to this week's Minimalist home tour. Thank you guys again for 4,000 subscribers. It really does feel like yesterday when I was celebrating just 200 subscribers, 100 subscribers, so on and so forth. And I thought this would be a very appropriate time to talk about this particular topic of whether or not minimalism can be kind of an excuse for poverty. Or, I heard an interesting argument by other people saying minimalism is for privileged rich people because they don't have to own a bunch of stuff. If they need anything, they can just buy them right away. And, there could be certain truth to that. Again, same thing in life, nothing is really black and white. Both let's say poor person and rich person can practice minimalism, obviously. A lot of times minimalism can be an excuse for poverty. For instance, I love my apartment right now. It is what it is. It's small, but it's good enough for me. It's easy to maintain because of my lifestyle, right? But I would be lying if I didn't admit that if I could choose to have a small studio apartment that is also easy to clean, that is in a beautiful high rise with a lovely view, would I want it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So in a way you could say, me being happy with a kennel of an apartment with, even some mold spots on my wallpaper. It would be lying if I said this is my dream home, but this is the dream home for me in order for me to get to the absolute dream that I'm actually looking for. Even if I could afford a very expensive apartment, which I cannot, but even if I could, would pouring a bunch of money into an apartment that is cleaner and nicer really be the most useful thing that I can do right now? Absolutely not. In a way, I think it's a little silly to assume that people who choose to be a minimalist, who choose to live in a smaller space, who choose to not own that many things, are somehow simply poor and they don't have anything going on for themselves. And here's another thing, even if they were, let's say hypothetically, I live in an apartment like this and I have no business, I have no money, I have no goals or whatever, which is very silly. Almost everyone has goals. But even if that were the case, what do we accomplish by calling someone like this, I don't know, a liar, a poor person for practicing minimalism? Absolutely nothing. Unless you're an a-hole, what do you accomplish from putting someone down for no reason? I think it's kind of an act that is beneath me. So, it's a little silly every time I see some of these negative comments. I really don't know what it is that they gain from trying to put me down. Highly doubt any of them have a better life than me because I'm quite happy with the way my life is set up for now. And another thing is, I make money off of my channel, right? Well, it's not a lot of money, but I do make money from the apartment that I'm living in. The irony is I wouldn't be able to make money off of YouTube and potentially even make more money in the future and reach out to more people. It's not even just about money, right? Make other people's lives better or even just their day better, uplift their mood. I wouldn't have this level of influence, so to speak, if I didn't have minimalism to help me focus on what matters the most. This is something that I briefly mentioned a couple times in the past also. I did a huge declutter in the winter of 2014 where I took out 2 suitcases that were almost as tall as me, filled with clothes and nice bags or whatever, and I threw them away because at the time I was actually very, very poor. I had to ration how many pieces of Spam I could eat. I was very broke. I had no meaningful personal connections at the time. I had nothing really that I invested into myself for. I didn't really have a degree at the time, aside from high school degree. There were a lot of things that were poor in my life, and I remember being very disgusted with how much external fancy, wealthy looking clothes and bags that I had, when in fact I was very, very poor, and I was living in a very tiny shoebox apartment, and the clutter was making me stressed, right? So I did this one big declutter one night and I felt very, very liberated. I still remember it was snowing that night. And I came back, and because I didn't have all this distraction, I started envisioning a good life for myself. I even experimented with making a video for YouTube. It was like a book review, which I deleted eventually. I think one person liked it or something like this. But I experimented with that. And in that tiny little space, because I didn't have a lot of clutter, because I minimized without really understanding that was minimalism. And I, focused on a grand plan. I thought about a couple business ideas. I went to even like some kind of networking events for entrepreneurs. So I was probably the most broke person there, definitely an oddball. But over there I learned how to build a website, without investing too much money into it. So my creativity at the lowest point in my life, at the poorest, actual poor point in my life, was off the roofs. And the habits that I developed during that time, right? In a tiny apartment with just one desk by the window, I was putting up post-its on the window, envisioning a better life for myself. One of which included, perhaps getting my education, perhaps rebuilding my personal relationships, taking care of my health, saving more money, figuring out what it is that matters to me the most without worrying about whether or not I look cute and rich to other people. And that was definitely one of the bigger turning points in my life. I have had a few. And this is what I want to ask you, someone who's looking at my life right now, maybe they are looking at it from a better place. And you could say, this is a poor person's house. They are delusional. And here's what I want to ask you. The person who is living through poverty, and I'm very, very much aware that it could indeed be poor people who don't really have much choice but to practice minimalism because they cannot afford to go shopping a lot. It is up to that person who is going through these things to decide whether or not they want to see themselves as this failure and poor person living in a kennel, a sick, dying dog who has nothing. Or you could look at yourself as, this is my tiger's den. I am working with whatever I have and I'm expanding my creativity. I am building my character so that next time when there is an opportunity, I am able to get there. Again, I'm not inviting anybody to be delusional. If anything, I have a very big disdain for delusional states because, it is very easy also for me to slip into this. But, I'm not asking you to, pursue a bullshit business idea that you neither have discipline or your skin in the game for, I'm not asking you to steal other people's money, resources, labor, and trick them into saying that you're rich. What I am saying though, if you are willing to do the work, if you are willing to put your skin in the game, if you are willing to envision a better life for yourself, your current circumstances, it is just about perspective. And if you have no choice but to practice minimalism, I would like you to invite this limitation. And this isn't an original thought of mine. I have read many, many books in my life. And a lot of books repeat this point as well. Sometimes limitation is freedom for creativity, because if you don't have any limitations, it could be overwhelming. But when you do have limitations, whether it's financial limitation, whether it's the apartment that you're in, whether it is the country that you're in, your situation, whether you choose to view yourself as a poor, wounded dog living in a kennel, or again, a tiger building its life, growing its strength to tackle the world and go after what it is they want, it is really up to you. And the only difference is, as long as you're not harming anybody, you're not taking advantage of anybody, you're not stealing from anybody, and you're just dreaming a bigger and better life for yourself, there's really nothing wrong with that. And I think minimalism can give people this tool because it gives the definition to this state of having little, right? The traditional definition for having little stuff, according to capitalism or whatever, the modern society, it's poverty. But people collectively came together and decided to give this another name, which is minimalism. Minimalism is helping you see yourself as a tiger so that you have the energy and passion to pursue what it is that you want. I'm not going to, claim to be the most successful person out there. I'm really not. But there are many things in my life that I'm very proud of, that I know that I've worked for. And if I was looking at myself as a poor person who have no potential, who should only be ashamed, who should feel bad about myself, I would have never gotten here. So if you are a fellow minimalist or you are interested in minimalism to have a better life for yourself, if someone is shaming you, kicking you down, I would like you to remember this phrase, and it's not my original phrase. Nobody kicks a dead dog. And it's true. People see that spark in you, and the smart people who are also tigers will see it and help you utilize this passion, or at least not get in your way, because they're also busy building their own life. And anybody who feels the need to squash that flame, to kick you down, is because they do see your value and they feel inferior and scared of what you might become. Never give these people time of the day. And you might be like, why are you making a video if you're not giving these people time of the day? I don't give a fuck about these people, okay? I don't. But I do care about people who do not understand that they are indeed loving tigers. I refuse to let other people bully my fellow minimalist, fellow people who are trying to build a good life for themselves. Sometimes, we need hope to get to where we need to go. And if your thought process is taking this hope away from you, let go of that. Let go of that thought. It is not serving you. Why are you holding on to a thought that is not serving you at all? And this another thought of, minimalists being privileged, rich people who can buy whatever it is they want. So therefore they can practice minimalism. There's certain truth to it, of course. For instance, if I were to declutter a winter coat today, I know when next winter comes, I'm probably going to be able to afford another winter coat. If you're in this situation where you cannot afford to be a minimalist because you need these things to survive, but you still want to become a minimalist, I would like to tell you, as long as you have an intention to become a minimalist someday, you are already a minimalist. It's just that your circumstances limit you for now. So you are also a tiger waiting in your den with all your stuff. And eventually, when you can indeed finally able to afford decluttering things, afford empty space, you will remember this message, right? This is just about perspective. And I genuinely mean it when I say at the end of the day, it does not matter how many items you own. It does not matter how big is your home. It does not matter whoever calls you what. It's really just about how you see yourself. And again, if changing your thought process does not harm anybody, you're not stealing from them. Again, you're not using their resources. You're not manipulating them. You're simply needing this extra push. You're simply needing this hope to continue. Whether you can afford to be a minimalist or whether you cannot afford to be a minimalist, at the end of the day, only thing that matters is your intention. And from experience, what I could tell you is anytime I was able to accomplish something, tackle a bigger challenge and upgrade my life, I had to have some faith in my ability. And this is what I would like to invite you to do. Have some faith, regardless of whether or not you're traditionally considered rich or poor. Because at the end of the day, again, all of us have different situations, and what we decide to do with it, and whether or not we decide to see ourselves as a sickly pup or a tiger pup ready to pounce on the world and go after what it is that we want, it is entirely up to you. This is a message that I want to give for this week. Without further ado, let's start this week's Minimalist Home Tour. Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Minimalist Home Tour. We'll start off in the bedroom. You can see my blanket that I usually wear, is how you say it, is being washed. So I don't know if you can hear the laundry machine over the music, but yeah, that's what's going on. And this is my bed. I've got a removable cover. I'm actually going to remove the cover as well and wash that as well. But over here you can see, oh yeah, by the way, 2 of my nails are chipped. I'll fix that today. But over here, just my table, and I want to show you, this is like a little rose scrubber thing that my aunt made. I think it's so cute. I might actually gift it to someone. But yeah, that's what's going on. And over here you can see this is my fridge / closet area. But if you look at it from here, you cannot even see my suitcase and stuff like that. But all the suitcase does is it holds like random stuff, off-season clothes and anything that I don't need to access in day-to-day life. I just keep in the suitcase. So that's an extra storage for me. So on and so forth. And of course I have my jacket hanging here. And you can see this is pretty empty, but these are all current season clothes that I wear. And another thing that I want to point out is this is my summer dress, but I actually wore this by layering a long sleeve underneath. And somehow it actually looked pretty cute. So that's another way that you can kind of like diversify your wardrobe if you don't mind layering and things like that without needing to buy more clothes and so on and so forth. And I have more toilet paper here because I actually bought like 1+1. So I did start doing bulk shopping just for like real essentials that I know I go through pretty fast, which is like toilet paper. I might even take this to work, but yeah, that's what I did. So I'm trying to save money. So sometimes, I have to like negotiate between minimalism and saving money. Sometimes minimalism helps me save money, sometimes it doesn't. So it really depends on your priority at the time, but that's exactly what I'm doing. And you can see over here, these are like, my socks and sports bra and so on and so forth. And of course, I always have laundry hanging right here. Speaking of laundry, this bag is for holding all the laundry that's clean and dry, but I didn't fold them yet. So before, what I used to do is when they're not folded, I'll just dump in here with all the folded clothes, so it'll get super messy, or put them on the floor so the floor will get messy. But ever since I started putting it, like that, it's been pretty clean, and I'm not too stressed out about my household chores, which is lovely. and we'll move into the bathroom. Ta-da! It's the same situation. Over here you can see my shampoo and conditioner. And then over here it's just my cabinet with a bunch of stuff. Let me show you. Let's see. Yeah, just let me go through them real quick. Over here you can see my hairbrush, little hair products, sunscreen, cotton swabs, and this is a toner for my skin. There's cream down here. I got extra toothbrush and stuff like that because I need it. And there's deodorant, and there's body lotion, and there's hair oil, and my little oil, and the body mist. And yeah, I might throw away this toothbrush pretty soon because again I got the new set. And then there's of course mouthwash, makeup removal foam cleanser, toothpaste, and of course this is a mold killing spray. This is actually it makes things smell better. And then there's like another mold killing solution, and of course cleaning supplies. I'm going through them pretty quickly because most of my subscribers already know almost all these things. And of course I use my door handle to hang things. And I want to show you this vest. I actually washed them in my washer, and they're fine. Like, it doesn't really get crinkled or anything like that. So I'm really happy that this is machine washable. I wasn't too sure. Sometimes I do look at the label of maintenance, but ultimately I just have to like wash them and see, because I kept mentioning I usually don't keep an item that requires too much upkeep, because then it's not very sustainable for me, because I don't even have an iron. I don't really have a dry cleaner at home, so on and so forth. Yeah, and of course this is another example of this. Is this shirt tends to get wrinkly. Excuse me, that's my phone case. But this shirt tends to get quite wrinkly. But what I do is I tend to basically shake them and then make sure it dries flat. This way it doesn't get too wrinkly. And luckily this type of style, it doesn't look too bad even if it's like slightly wrinkled, so that's okay. But you see, I don't really keep items that require heavy ironing. Maybe I will keep white blouse once in a while, just because if there's like an important event or something that I need to go to and I have to wear a white blouse, it's like a dress code, then it's okay. But nothing so fancy going on lately, so that's all right. And over here, oh my gosh, you can see so many shoes, and you can see I don't always have them organized because again it's like a person's home. But yeah, these are my long boots. They're very cute. I don't always wear them. And then of course my sandals, my running shoes, and then the little stringless shoe that I have. Another thing that I want to show you, you'll notice that my brown boots are gone because it started having hole in them. It got chafed, and then someone noticed this, so I don't know if I wanted to keep that anymore. So I got these cute shoes. It's got this little like suede type of texture, so I think it looks good for cooler seasons still. But this is more like I guess spring style, as you can see. So yeah, I've been wearing these. It's very cute. It's very season appropriate. I can still wear it in the winter, and I'm still breaking it in because this part, it is hurting my ankle a little bit. But usually once they get broken into, they're fine, so on and so forth. And of course my umbrella. And over here you can see I made my lunch/dinner right here. So I usually have half of this with rice at work for each meal, and I also have kimchi and stuff that I keep at work, so it can be like a complete meal, which is quite lovely. Actually, that reminds me, I need to take some hot sauce to work. Thanks for reminding me, guys. You see how I am doing my household chores? And I realized I didn't really do a fridge tour, but yeah, I still haven't taken out some trash, which I need to do. But I'm going to take this sriracha sauce to work because I noticed the other night I don't have enough sauce. Need more sauce in my life. So yeah, and then you can see I just cooked this morning, so the pan is drying just like this. If you're wondering how I dry my dishes, that's what's going on. And down here you'll see it's the same situation, just some trash. And up here you'll see it's just a storage. I got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of snacks, which again I think I'm going to take these seaweed to work. And then like noodles, board game even, and then a bunch of miscellaneous items, some bags up there. And over here it is actually quite full right now because I'm keeping my extra toilet paper and more noodles, and this is like a bug trap box in the center. So yeah, that's it for this week's Minimalist home tour, and let's just go to the outro. So that was my Minimalist home tour. I hope y'all liked it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time with more home tour.